get into that world of with the Stern people?
I had been a fan since I was like when I was younger. I'm a very liberal, progressive person. I'd always heard Howard Stern's this awful, terrible human being, and like this is like probably like late '90s. I was living in the San Francisco Bay Area, and like just one day I had the radio on because we didn't have, we didn't have anything back then to listen to. I was changing channels or whatever, and I found this show. I'm like, oh, what is this? And I'm listening to like 15 minutes of this talk radio show on an FM channel. And I'm like, this is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. This is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life. And then as they go to commercial, it says the Howard Stern Show. I'm like, wait, this is Howard Stern? I'm sorry. This guy is a fucking comedy genius. This show is the greatest thing I've ever heard. I immediately became obsessed. And for years, I was just a super fan.
Yeah.
And then in like 2003, I think, no, not 2013, or maybe 2012, like right about 10 years ago, more or less, I just had an idea for a song. And I'd been doing music my whole life, but it had never occurred to me like, hey, why don't you contribute to the show? Because I was always like, I'm a serious musician at this point, like I wouldn't do a joke song, but I was like, I was starting to loosen up a little bit. And I was like, oh, I had an idea for a song. It was like, I was listening to Tina Turner, "You're Simply the Best."
Yeah.
And I was like, what if it was big tits on her chest? And I was like, okay. So I went to iTunes. I downloaded a karaoke version of the song. I recorded it very cheap, super fast. I just sent it to whatever the dumb email address is, Stern Show at howardstern.com. And they literally played it the next morning. I was like listening to the show live. I couldn't fucking believe it. I'm like,
how many notes they get a day? I mean, that's crazy that you got it.
I know, it's crazy.
You're also talented. So I mean,
thank you. I mean, I am talented, I think, but like, it was also just hearing that validation from, my hero, like the next day. And so that afternoon, I had a friend who was a music producer, and I'm like, dude, I want to do another song. And I did the Black Eyed Peas Boom Boom Pow. I was like, let's do a really good version of, like, make it sound super good. And it was, I can't remember what it was, but it was like boo boo something. I don't even know. I sent it, and then the next day they played that. I'm like, I am so in on this. So I just started sending in songs constantly. And like literally the first 20 songs I sent in, every single one of them got played immediately. And
it was amazing. Like, I remember listening and Howard, like, just hearing his voice go, and another one by Eli Braden, like he just made it so like matter of fact. It's like, here we are, another top hit from Glenn Frey, everybody, we love, like, he just said it so matter of fact. I was like, you shut the fuck up. Eli's just fucking killing it every day.
And there's no matter what, anything that ever happens to me in, my career, there will never be anything that tops that, because
because there's the reach of it. It's so personal with Howard. Like it reaches into people's lives. Like everything. Like I always tell Gary this, but like, I've had, could have a show that aired on prime time or whatever. If Howard even mentions me in passing in like a 30-second clip, I hear more about that than I do about anything else.
I get it. I totally get it. Yeah. And I mean, obviously you've had, Danny, you've had such huge success.
Huge success.
When Howard, I mean, huge success.
Huge. But when Howard, do you want to get your Emmys? Do you want to get your Emmys?
I will in a second.
Where are they? Where do you keep them?
I keep them over there. It's sort of douchey to have them in my own background.
Unless is it though? I mean,
but is it?
Yeah, unless I'm doing a bit. Yeah.